So for example 8, it tells us to make a sketch, but it says suppose that sine of alpha is equal to 4/5 for a quadrant 2 angle alpha, and sine of beta is equal to 1/2 for a quadrant 1 angle beta. Find the exact value of each of the following. So let's just start out. First we have this quadrant 2 angle that they call alpha. And they said, though, that sine of alpha is 4/5. So what they did is they're going to make a right triangle here. Now sine is what in terms of x, y, and r?
Sine is y. Not gonna lie.
Okay, so that means my y value, which is going to go up and down just like my y-axis is 4. My r value is 5. Here's my angle alpha, because it's the one that's in the center there. What is my x value here?
3.
Almost.
What?
Because you're saying it's a 3, 4, 5 triangle, correct?
Yeah.
Okay, you're right there, but we're in quadrant 2, so what is my x value?
-3.
-3. Very good. Now, what if I couldn't remember what it was? How would I find it? X squared?
Pythagorean theorem.
Yes, Pythagorean theorem. X squared plus y squared equals r squared, right? Shh. Okay, so I know then for alpha, we know that x is a -3, y is 4, and r is 5, correct? Then it tells me we have this first quadrant angle called beta. And it tells us the sine of beta is 1/2. Well, you just told me sine is y/r. So my y that goes up and down is 1. My r is my radius, so that's 2. What is my x value going to be?
3. No. 1.5.
Well, let's find out for sure.
How do you know?
So we know x squared plus y squared equals r squared. So we don't know x, y is 1, and r is 2. So we get x squared plus 1 equals 4. Subtract the 1, so x squared equals 3. Take the square root, and we get plus or minus the square root of 3. So which one are we going to use? Why?
Because it's a positive x.
Because it's positive. Good. And so we know for beta that x is equal to the square root of 3, y equals 1, and r equals 2. And now that I know those, I can go and solve what it's asking for. So the first thing it asks for is cosine of alpha. How can we find that?
Whoa, what? Cosine of what?
Yeah, cosine of alpha.
Oh, cosine, what is cosine? What is cosine?
What is cosine in terms of x, y, and r?
It's x.
X over r. Now we have to put the over r because we have an r value that's not a 1, okay? It's not on my unit circle here. So x is -3, r is 5.
So is that it? Just
That was it.
for that? Okay, cool.
That's, real silly.
All right, so what about cosine of beta?
-3/2.
Cosine is still x over r. So we have the, oh wait, for beta?
The, square root of 3 over...
Okay, maybe I heard wrong, I'm sorry.
No,
So square root of 3 over 2.
I really hope these don't get any harder.
What about cosine of alpha plus beta?
Just as
Okay. So would that be like cosine -3/5 plus?
No.
Squared
Let's write out our formula though, okay? So cosine of alpha, cosine of beta, minus sine of alpha, sine of beta. Okay? Now be careful, guys, because we know what cosine of alpha is, correct? So when I go to plug in cosine of alpha, it's going in for the whole thing, not just the alpha. Cosine's gone when I do this. So what is cosine of alpha? Well, it's letter A up there. It's 3/5, right?
Why do you do your A like that?
Because that's what alpha kind of looks like, except for mine's a little extended, I think. What about cosine of beta? What is that? Minus with sine of alpha. That's up in the given. Yeah, we know it. It's up in the given. And what about sine of beta?
1/2.
Yeah, that was given as well up there, right? Multiply straight across. So negative 3 square roots of 3 over 10. Minus, multiply straight across, 4 over 10. Combine your numerators. So negative 3 square root of 3 minus 4 over the common denominator of 10. You can't do anything else with that. So this is our simplified exact value.